Okay.
The accounts is becoming popular right now, and so we are about to extend it to other organizations.
Okay.
But I wanted to show it to you,
Okay.
and for you to also assess it to see whether all features from your end has been addressed and covered.
Okay.
So at the moment we start distributing is very wide. We are sure everybody's going to be satisfied.
Okay.
And so I'm going to log into the system and I'm going to take you through the various features. And then if there's some additions that you want or some modifications, you can draw attention. And then yes, so we can update it before it goes out. It's actually running in some of the schools already, and it's running an advertising association of Ghana, for example. They are using, they've been using it for about two years now. Yes, and so it's already out there, but we just want to be sure that it satisfies everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so we start. We have various features for the 3C SME accounts. It's based on what we call the chart of accounts. It sits on the chart of accounts. And so this is a chart of accounts that every organization will have. The chart of accounts is unique per organization. And so what we've done is we've given a dummy chart of accounts, and everywhere we go, they pick and choose from the dummy to create their own. And so, for example, with this dummy, we have 138 entries, items that they can choose from. And so that is what is also. So that is the first step, because everybody will need to have their own chart of account. After the chart of account is set up, we also set up what we call the contribution account. And the contribution account is to simplify the entries. And so for this one, it says this was an account we set up for a school. So it says the item is account proceeds, and it is cash. The one in cash, debits the cash on hand, and credits account proceeds. And so you see here, it's the same as the T account, but we set it up inside. And so the one entry will not have to remember which account it should go to. You see, and so they fill a form, automatically it goes into it. Now we've been dealing with a lot of clients, and we realize that not every location have professional accountants. They will not take somebody who's available, they will try to train them. And so what we have done is we have hidden the complexity of accounts, and we've given forms for each transaction. We've provided forms. And so for income, we have a form that they will fill. The people, those who are directly working on the system, only have to remember how to fill the form. And the moment the form is filled, the nitty-gritties behind the scenes is done automatically by the system. That is the simplicity we are bringing to the market. So we are sure that everybody will be doing the right thing. Now on this form, so let's say this is a form for income, to record income. On this form, we have the various fields. So let's say I'm trying to record a transaction for 27 today, and the transaction is, let's say a printing firm. So we say somebody is coming to do printing, and then this should go into our EcoBank account. The amount is, let's say, 200 Ghana.
Yeah.
The narration is let's say amount being amount received for printing. something like this. Job, something like that. Something like this. If there's a check, it comes in. If there's a receipt number, it comes in. So we can just put in just to identify the income transaction.
Okay.
So we do this, and they will add the C. That's all. Now, if a date, let's say the date is missing, the system will prompt that this transaction has no date. If an amount is missing, it will prompt that this transaction has no amount. And so the one who is entering is forced to ensure that all the ingredients required to post a good transaction is in it. And so it will be difficult to come for the auditors to come around and to say, when was this transaction done? And for the month, the person to say, oh, I forgot to write the date, or I forgot to write the amount, or I forgot to do this. That is taken out of the way. It means every transaction, the moment it is posted, correct, the system will ensure that all the ingredients are there and it goes smooth. At the moment a transaction is posted, it goes into the semblance of a cash book. So here, if I come here and I say I want to see income, let's say from 26 to 27, that has come in, and I do this, it will bring me a semblance of a cash book. And so in here, I have the date the transaction came, the voucher number, I have the amount, I have the narration, the account that was debited, account that was credited. It also puts a timestamp. Okay. And so here we know who when it was posted. So this one is not controlled by the user when it was posted, and then it's also pushing the user ID who posted it. You understand? Yes, and so this enables us to ensure that all transactions are accurate. So you cannot come into this trade and find that the date was not there, or the amount was not there. It's eliminated. But all the user did was the user just filled a form. Okay. Just a form he filled. Yes, and so we are trying to make it as simple as possible. That is our aim now. But the accounting engine is inside, and so accounting engine does everything. But the user will only be filling forms. And so if the user masters the form, it means he can post a good transaction at all times. Okay. The next we talk about is the expenditures. So let's say an expenditure is posted. But with the expenditure, we have created what we call electronic voucher. And so before you spend, we say you prepare your voucher. The voucher must be authorized before the expenditure can be made. And in our other applications, we have we allow the users to do their manual vouchers. And after the manual vouchers are done, then they'll come and type in the voucher number on the manual voucher. In this one, some of the clients were requesting for electronic voucher. And so we made provision for electronic voucher. So let's say we come to for an expense is supposed we made. So the one on the ground creates a voucher, and the voucher is also a template. And so this is the voucher. So it comes here and says, okay, on this day, the voucher, we want to do, let's say we want to electricity, entertainment, let's say fuel. And so here we come and say amount in figures. We say 400. We are buying fuel 400. Amount in words 400. CDs, something like this. And then the payment mode, we say, let's say cash. The amount paid to. So we say amount is to be paid towards the electricity corporation.
Okay.
Electricity company, and it is from we are paying from which account? We say we are paying from the EcoBank account. We hear also narration. We say in something of this nature. Here also we save, we click add and we save. Now the moment this one is done, the manager of the organization can come into his tray, and in his tray he sees the vouchers. So the vouchers will be listed. This voucher can only be paid if it's approved. And so, for example, this is the voucher number 2214. Let's come to expenditure. So I come to expenditure, and I click on add new. Now, when I come to the voucher numbers, you see that 214 is not here. That means if a voucher is not approved, it cannot be paid.
Okay.
You understand? So this is online, and so the vouchers can be prepared. The one in charge can go through and approve. The moment he approves, it is now ready for spending. And so here I come back here again, and I say I want to approve. So when I click on approve, I come here and I say approve. So manager has approved now. So it leaves the tree of manager. Now the one who is supposed to record the transaction comes inside here. And then when he clicks on voucher number, he can see now 214 is here. And then that amount can be paid. Now under reports, you can also generate the voucher. In some of the places, they want the manual voucher as well to sign on it. So here you can pick here, you come here, and the voucher is here, the payment voucher. So the voucher that we filled can be generated and it can be signed if you want to sign. It is okay. And so we see the voucher with the voucher. Sorry?
I'm following.
You're following, okay. And so here, so with the system, we can prepare our vouchers, and then we can approve the vouchers, and we can record the expense transaction. And so now I can come in here, and then when I come, I'll say, okay, so now voucher has been approved. I come to pay the voucher. I select the voucher in question, and this voucher is fuel and lubricant. We are paying from EcoBank. The amount is 400, and here being amount paid. Yes, I just rather do this amount. Yes, if there's a check number, we can put a check number there. If not, we can leave it, and then it is gone. Now, when I come back to my cash book, the semblance of my cash book, I can pick for only expense, and I should see my expenditure, my expense item. And so here you see what I just recorded again, and you see the voucher number come here automatically because it's picking it from the voucher. You also see here the timestamp.
Yeah.
And then you see the user, the user who did it. And so everything is done very transparently, very simple, just for the user to be able to use it. They're just for any level of person to be able to use it. Now, okay. if I come to report again, and I want to see the detail, what has happened over the period in a particular account. let's say I say EcoBank. So this is what I'm using, EcoBank Ghana. I go back, let's say I go to January till now, and I say I want to see what is happening in my account. When I do this, it takes me to the account, the very account, and I can know by date transaction that has been made as we've gone along. And so here you will see that these are the transactions that have been done so far. You understand? And so it's very clear. And so this one, tracking the local transactions will normally match with the bank statements that come in. You see, and so that is what is that. You can also see your trial balance. So assuming the auditors come around, we want to see your trial balance. The trial balance is also generated automatically. And so we have the trial balance generated automatically. And so I can do this. And then every transaction that has been made over the period within my limits, my date limits, is shown. And to determine whether your trial balance is correct, these figures must match. This will have to match, and so the ordinary person who is using it can look at it and see that, oh, my trial balance is okay. We can also look at our income and expenditure, and here also, let me say if I want to go back a little bit to see my income and expenditure, I go back, I come forward to see my income and expenditure, and it gives me all income that has come in, the sum of it, all expenses that has been made. Now you see all that the user did was he enters his income, he enters his expense, following the form, and these reports are generated automatically. So the user does not have to be a professional accountant. All he needs to master is how I can post an income.
How to use the app. Okay.
Yes, you see, and the rest is done automatically. You understand? And so he can generate and print his reports, and the reports look very professional. But he did not. It was not him who put it together. System put it together.
Okay.
So we call our system the leveler now. So our system has become an accountant for everybody. The leveler. And so at the end of the day, when the accounts or auditor person comes, he goes through. If everything is fine, he stamps and endorses it, and that is it. The bookwork is done by the system. Now there's also another transaction, like incomes that will come from a particular person. So let's say for this one, we set it for a school, and in the school, there are particular people who bring yes at the end of every period. So let's say a lady called Eunice is a canteen, is the head of the canteen, and so her work at the end of the day, she must come and give account to the administration, and so we set it up in the system. And so when they come, let's say on this day, she's finished her work, she's reported. So she comes, and then we've set up her the account item. So we say canteen proceeds. So she puts it in. It was cash. Yeah, and the moment you see, I showed you that we set the T account in the system. So the moment I selected cash here, it pops up immediately. That's for the transaction. You must go to cash on hand. She puts in amount that she submitted for the day. She puts in the amount in where, so we say 700. 700. And then a narration. So let's say amounts realized, being amounts realized. Amount realized for when? Today. Okay. income received.
Okay.
Something like that. Something of this nature will be amount you want to this like this. You see, and so here I add and I see. Now, and so today is 27th. We are dealing with units. So I go. So units brings the amount, and then I come into the system. I say units will need an acknowledgement. So I say generate a receipt for units. So units brought the amount. It was canteen proceed. It was an income. The date was 27th. So now I generate, and it should bring me the amount, everything that units did. 700, the 700 is there. And so we can print
everything.
The narration is there. So we can print this for units, and that becomes a proof that I brought this money. She files it at the end, but the other information remains in the system. You see, and so you can use this one to track all activities within an environment, and at every particular moment, the owner of the environment can be able to know payment that has been made, income that has come in, vouchers that were created, and that type of thing. Now you cannot run the system without authorization, and so we also have the security layer that will help the authorities to create usernames and passwords for whoever works for the system, and everybody works username and password. So whatever you enter goes in your name. And so if there's an issue, we come and generate, we can know who did what at what time. You see, and so that is what helps the organizations to control the environment and know who can do what. And so that's so now if we come to what we've talked about is the incomes and expenditures. There are other transactions that are not necessarily income or expenditure. Let's say you want to buy let's say a vehicle. A company wants to buy a vehicle. Now here we give the flexibility. Whoever the accountant is should know the account to debit and account to credit. With the other one, because it was incomes, we brought only the incomes out, income labels out. Because it was expenditure, we brought the expenditure labels out. With this type of accounts, which that it may involve an asset and a liability account. It can also even involve an income and other accounts. You can come in here and use it flexibly to do it. So let's say you want to purchase a vehicle, a motor vehicle. So here I come and I debit the motor vehicle, and I credit the account from where the amount is coming from. So I say vehicle. So motor vehicle is here. I credit EcoBank, and the transaction is done. So let's say this is a 20,000 amount. You put whatever information that you need to put. Immediately, the transaction is done. Another transaction that you can do here is you can move money from your income, your cash account to the bank. And so you are moving from your cash account to the bank. The same thing, you can come here. This time, because EcoBank, we are dealing with EcoBank. EcoBank is debited. EcoBank is debited, and then the cash on hand is also is credited. So we move money from the cash on hand to the EcoBank. Whatever amount we put here moves. You understand? And so that is how it is. So you can with a single journal, the journal entries, you can do other complex transactions. But with this type of transactions, you need somebody who knows his left from his right, who can know which account I'm debiting and which account I'm credited. The other feature we have in is a multiple entries. And with the multiple entries, we are able to create our opening balances. And so let's say the organization is about to start. They were running possibly on Excel or they were running manual. They have a cutoff point. And so we say, okay, we are starting our entries from April, 1st April. So our cutoff point is going to be end of March. So we say, what was your balances at the end of March? And so here with the multiple digital entries, we can set our opening balances. You understand? And so when we set the opening balances, it continues from there. So we put in our opening balances as at the end, and we tie it to accumulated funds. So let's say we have 2 or 3 accounts. We put in the first account, we put in the second account. We actually debit those accounts to indicate that the money is in that account. We credit accumulated fund, and yes, and it is done. So here we set it up for them, and then they can continue from there. So they can start recording their transaction from 1st April, and it will be added to what the account was as at 31st. You understand? And so that is how that one works. That one works. You see, and so we've tried to pick the important features and organize them. So we've taken away all complexities, all features that are not really necessary, to make our accounting package very simple, very straightforward, not scary, so that anybody can be able to use. But then we brought in all the important features so that you can be able to do everything that you want to do, and still be able to present a well organized report to the bank and to anybody who
anyone who wants to access your records.
That's right. And so that is what we have done. And we said, no, let's show it to you. And so this one is currently running in the Association of Advertising. Is it company now? At the company, yes. So it has been running there for about two years. It's running in some of the schools already. It's running in a lot of churches right now. It's running a lot of churches. They are checking their books and things. But now we are trying to go full swing, because those are our referrals. We have to work with them to ensure that everything works well. So now we are going to go forward, but we want to be sure that you also look at it, and then if there are certain things from where you sit, you think will have to be done, it can be done before we finally launch it.
Okay, Mr. Nyama, based on the presentation you did, to me, I think it makes your accounts and everything easier if you are a business owner.
Okay.
However, with GA, most of our clients are micro businesses. They own micro businesses.
Okay.
That they have between 1 to 5 employees. So based on that, you can actually tell the kind of businesses they are into and the size of their business.
Okay.
We are going to have a financial literacy class on Monday and then Tuesday.
Okay.
So in the event you are invited, I can see the app, but to me, it's for these big businesses, people who are bringing lots of income or who have different departments that they deal with and all that. But what about someone like a startup business with maybe 2 employees? How would you package for them? How can you tailor the app to suit their needs?
Yes, so if it's a startup, they can still use the same, but possibly we may have to organize the funding, the finance side to enable them be able to come in. But they will also have need the income to record their income. They will need to record their expense. They will need to do everything that the big companies do. You see, but it's just that the amount, the entry level is what we will look at, and we'll say. So we'll say, okay, if it's a startup, then we may have to give them a discount or cause them to enter at this particular level. But that one means you have to recommend you have to say this one is an entry level, so he must be at this level of payment. But this one is a big one, he must be at this level. And so based on your recommendation, we'll look at how we can assist.
Okay. Okay. Then Mr. Nyama, I think to me, I am okay. And your presentation was short and interesting too. So we'll be expecting you. Will you be coming on Monday or on Tuesday?
Yeah, I have a presentation to do in Cape Coast.
Okay.
In Cape Coast. Okay. I'll get back to you on that one.
If it's going to be an issue, if you are not going to make it, there'll be another program, but that one is not related to financial literacy. That one is related to products, packaging, and labeling. So if the first and second will not be okay for you, we can put you on the other program.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll get back to you on that one. With the first and second, how many minutes we have to talk?
People are coming. No, how many minutes? We can allocate like 30 minutes to you.
Okay.
If you finish early, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
And how many people are we looking at?
We are expecting about 30 to 40 people.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll get back to you. Yes, you're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye-bye.